If it hurts, James breaks, no get you know it up, put on more speed. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the games after this win it. Press you again, we're here for the first minute. Carry the body, keep it there for 60 minutes.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Just look around. You got the mountains. You got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes,
all right.
And you have to not lose the game before you can ever win the game.
Oh my God, we should leave it at that.
Okay.
We should close with that. That is the mind blower of mind blowers.
Good.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I am Coach Jay.
And this your boy X.
It is game day, boys. Even though it's a glorified scrimmage, I'm ready for some football, ready to watch some football, talk some football. This is the Fan Tailgate Show. You guys get to come on the show, hang out, talk a little Tennessee football with us. The link is out right now for everybody. Talkin VAWLS Elite and higher. I always say appreciate every member of this channel, but the more you give, the quicker you jump on the show. If you have no idea, you want to jump on the show and have no idea how, go to the YouTube channel, hit the community tab, and the link will be there for you to jump on and hang out and talk some Tennessee football with us. Let's run down the chat, see who's here. Guys, smash the thumbs up right out of the gate. It helps the channel. We would appreciate it. Also, hit share. If you hit share, it says, where do you want to share it? Twitter, boom, done, over. Share, Facebook, over, done. We would appreciate you guys helping us spread the word. Classless Goat is here. He says, Boogie, what is up, my man? Ethan is here. Says, go Balls. My prediction is 65-9. Fishing for Funds is here. What is up? Ashley Howard in the house. Titan is here. What's up, brother? Tyler Adams in the house. Go Vols is here. David Collins. Leon DeHilt. Devin Hayes is here. Ben Gaylor is here. Bob King's in the house. What's up, Bob? Caleb Shoup is here. Any worries about thunderstorms or Nico? We're going to talk about Nico coming up in just a second. David Collins is here. We do have a couple of new members of the channel, Stephen Hyder and also Agent Ghost Gaming. Appreciate you guys. You members do keep the lights on around here. You pay the bills. We appreciate it. You can hit that join button down below. Did I say Dutton? Like the Dutton Ranch? The Dutton Ranch, is that what I'm thinking
There
about?
you go.
Hit that join button down below. It's as little as $1 a month. You want to give more? We appreciate every single member because you guys do keep the lights on around here. Noah James dropping a $10 entry fee. 195 people snuck in here without paying the door fee. Noah's dropping his $10 door fee. We appreciate it, Noah. GBO, it's almost game time. We are in the stadium ready to watch this glorified scrimmage. Orange emoji. I love it, Noah. Thank you for the super chat. Have a good time, my man. Enjoy the game. I guess we got to start with Nico. Why is it not sharing the screen?
It's worried about Austin Peay.
Maybe it's worried about the source that this news is coming from.
That could be something.
There we go. WBIR. We were questioning how valid these guys are, but that's what started the panic and the rumor. Sources: Vols quarterback Nico Iamaleava questionable to play versus Austin Peay. Now, I did go straight to VolQuest, and AP said this was at 1:26 p.m. He says Nico's practiced all week. Could he have gotten dinged up last week? Sure. Could they be cautious with him today because they need him in meaningful games? Sure. But again, it's not real serious as he went through practice and has thrown it all week. Coach Jay, what are your thoughts, buddy?
I think Nico's a tough kid, and I mean, has anyone heard which wrist too? So that's part of it, right? Obviously, as a quarterback, it's not a game that you particularly need him for, as everyone knows, but it's a game where we sure would like to get him some run. Now, the source, is definitely questionable. I know there's been some stories in the past that have not panned out, and they've thrown some clickbait type material up. I know they're a step or two above of reporting that Elvis landed on the moon and stuff like that. But it should be interesting to see. I think Nico's a tough kid, and I think he's going to tough it out and get on the field today. But if there is any doubt whatsoever, of course you rest him and make sure he's healthy and protect that $8 million arm. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good, Coach. Well, and then just like what you said, Boog, I mean, he's thrown all week in practice, so I'm just saying that if that wrist, injury was really seriously, then why would he practice all week? That's just my question about it. And sometimes with the sources and the narratives like this, like they try to, draw in viewers and clicks and all that analytic stuff. So, but yeah, like what Coach said too, I think Nico's a pretty tough kid. And then even if it's just maybe a slight minor kind of wrist injury, like he must have sprained it or something or whatever, I'm sure that he'll tough it through. He's going to play through it. And like I said, because we really want to see Nico today. So, because he's definitely the future. So we're all excited to see him this coming game.
Absolutely.
Let me get John on here, a member of the Watch Party enthusiast here. Again, the link's out there for everybody that is at Talkin VAWLS Elite or higher. Rhonda Lane becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, Rhonda. Thank you for the support. I say it all the time. I'm grateful for the members. You guys are the single reason I can do this. YouTube ad revenue sucks. This channel is built on the backs of you guys. It really is. I'm grateful for every single person that joins the channel. Tim Rice dropping a member chat. Been a member for 6 months. Appreciate that, Tim. Thank you for the support, buddy. Dan Yoder for 5. Looking for my huge dose of Arian Carter today. Yeah, you guys put in the chat. Who else are you excited to see? Some of these young guys. I'm excited about Elijah Herring. I've said since the injury news came out about Peay, I think it's a huge opportunity for the young linebacker Elijah Herring to continue to progress and move forward. Papa J for 10, who is now John, do you want to read your super chat for me, buddy?
Sure, man. Says, let's see what Gaston Moore has today. He knows the system well. Go Big Orange. And the background is for X Jones. Brick by brick.
There you go. Brick by brick, baby. Yep.
Oh, no.
Spring game champions. Let's go.
Oh, my
Let's
gosh,
go.
that is hilarious. Papa J is the only one that ever drops a super chat, but then he's on the show and gets to read it. I always think that makes for a good time. Stevie J dropping $100. 100, dropping the big bill. You know what we do when you drop that $100? We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top! You'll always be.
I think I need to add this one to the end of it.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
A hundo from Stevie J out here in Colorado representing Vol Nation. Go Vols. Appreciate that, Stevie
He
J.
must have stormed the field wearing a big orange shirt.
There you go.
I like Dion after the fact when they were talking to him, and he's like, I don't think I stuttered when I said we're coming.
Mm-hmm.
That girl didn't know how to take it. Let's get Bob on here. What is up, Bob? Good to see you in the chat, my friend. What are your thoughts, Bob? What do you think about Nico? Do you think he's going to play today?
I think they're gonna play it safe. I really hate to say it. I think they're gonna play it safe with Nico and not, put any insult to injury, so to speak. I think if he does come in, it'll be after he's had a couple of warm ups, maybe during the first half. See how it's doing at halftime. He might come in. I'd love to see him come in and take over the second half and just play it out like I did in all my predictions. But I think they're really going to protect him for right now. He might come in the fourth quarter and play a few series, but I think they're really going to watch him.
Do either one of you, John or Bob, either one of you guys know the credibility of WBIR? We were trying to talk about it before we went live, and then a little bit once we went live. It does seem like they have put out so many stories that are kind of clickbait driven, and then the news doesn't come to fruition. Are you all familiar with them at all?
I've listened to them a couple times. I don't put a lot of stock in anything. I listen to Coach Hype. I listen to the other coaching staff, and I listen to the players. That's who I'll listen to. VolQuest, they're usually pretty up on top of it. On three, she's usually pretty on top of it. And I have not heard either one of them say it. My reaction and my statement was based on if the reports are true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we watched the little 2-minute drill they do. VolQuest does right before they go live, and they mentioned it, but they didn't act like there was anything factual or known. Apparently, there is a wrist injury, but is it a big deal whether or not he plays? They didn't really say anything. It is kind of deflating, man, because I feel like that's been the storyline all week going into this thing is how we all want to see Nico. And now that's up in question, up in arms. We'll see what happens. I did not get either one of those phrases right.
Well, here's one thing. I said it in chat during one of your shows a few days ago, maybe even a week ago. We need to show we really need to show Milton that we're behind him. The more we holler, we want to see Nico. We want to see Nico. That can play on his confidence level.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to be saying, Milton, this is your team. We're behind you, Joe. Go get it. You're the new Bazooka Joe. We want to see Nico. We want to see him get his starts to have him ready for next year, and I'm sure Milton does too. But it can be a little deflating for the leader of a team to keep hearing for his backup or the person who's going to take it over after him be called early.
But I think people are getting the narrative twisted. Like, I got a lot of people yelling at me on Facebook because I asked, when do you want to see Nico? It's not like they're going to trot Nico out there to start the game. It's still Joe Milton's team, and it's going to be Joe Milton's team. But when you've got a 5-star quarterback, the number one player in the country, you want to see him. But not only do you want to see him, Coach, he needs to develop. We talked about this Friday morning. He needs those live bullets flying at him tonight.
Yeah. It will be a great opportunity if he can get out there to, let the live bullets fly, to feel the rumble of Neyland Stadium. It's just different, right? It's just a different feeling playing in front of 500 in your big games to 105,000. That's a bit of a jump up, right? To hear kind of the soil shake like that. But I think Nico will be fine ultimately, whether we see him today or not. I guess I'm gonna have to back Mrs. J on this and say Nico's fine and plays today.
Our text message is being sent right now. That's
Miss J's got that inside track, as I know Boogie, with some Nico family members. So I'm gonna take her call on it, but we'll see. If there is any kind of tutu on him, I mean, we're talking about a generational talent. So certainly keep him safe. But damn it, I want to see him. I want to see Nico play today, and I think we all do. So it's a little bit of a kind of an aw man. I think Arian Carter, maybe if Nico doesn't play, maybe Arian comes up with like 3-4 sacks and makes us feel good about the future anyway.
Wait, what is this maybe stuff? We got breaking news
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
from Mrs.
is.
Shea, and now
There
we
you
got
go. There you,
maybe.
sorry.
Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Look,
There you
shutting
go.
the stream down. I'm going to make a video right now. Breaking news: Nico is
Yep.
perfectly healthy and
Yep,
will
yep.
play per a
Sources
source.
say.
That's all I'm going to say. Per a source.
Yes.
Agent
There you
Ghost
go.
Gaming for $10. Appreciate the super chat, brother. How do y'all feel about today's jersey? Rocky Top Rules, you
Well,
just popped in. What do you think about the jerseys?
I mean, I love them. I think they're definitely different. They're our alternate jersey, our smoky grays combined with something reflecting on Tennessee history with being Condredge Holloway. So I love the purpose of them. Condredge Holloway was a pioneer to the getting first black quarterback in the SEC ever to start a football game. So I love the purpose for them, and in today's age, recruiting, young guys love the alternate jerseys and the different looks.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I like them, and as long as we win, I don't care what we wear. I mean, we can go out there and Lord knows what. As long as we get a W, I don't care.
Yeah, today I'm rocking
Amen.
the
Amen.
the Hinko Cinco, you know what I'm saying, gray
Oh, yeah.
jersey. So
You got to break out the gear. There you go.
oh yeah.
I saw, everybody, Hendo Cinco, somebody, I was talking about Nico, and they left a comment on the video and said, Ocho Nico. I kind of liked that. I thought that was pretty catchy. Jade Warren becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, Jade. Thank you for the support. Guys, you want to help us out, hit the join button down below. There's also a link pinned at the top of the live chat where you can be a member of the channel and help support what we're trying to build around here, but also you get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. You get access to this fan call-in show. Also, we're doing a fan call-in show every Sunday at 7. This week, we're going to have a special start time. Myself, Coach Jay, going to go live at 5:30. We're going to take you all the way up to the commitment of 4-star linebacker Chris Cole, who is on campus right now for an official visit. He will make his decision tomorrow. Coach, did you see that? I know we talked about Brian Jean-Marie going up there to watch his game last night because the official visit was going to be limited because, he played football last night, making the decision Sunday. You get 48 hours. So Brian Jean-Marie got into a van with the family as soon as the game ended in Salem, Virginia, and the clock started 48 hours for the official visit. He rode from Salem to Knoxville with the family. That's a boss move. I've not seen that in recruiting. That's a boss move.
Heck yeah, that's a boss move.
Heck
yeah, that's awesome, man. That is tip of the cap to Coach Marie there, and come on home. Mr. Cole, come on home. Come on home. We want you. We need you. And we are building something darn special in this linebacker room right now. I think we all see it. And you can be a part of that. We're going to do big things. We're going to have the number one offense in the country and the number one defense in the country coming up. So come on aboard and let's go.
Let me get another super chat. Wade Rouse for 5. Appreciate that. Wade has the Talkin VAWLS state pride tattooed on his body. Love Wade. Appreciate your support, buddy. Brent Hub said on BOC that he has practiced all week and is expected to be able to play. I don't see him not playing unless it's really bad. Go Vols. Yeah. The more information that starts to come in breaking, especially out of the state of California, from the top middle window on this live stream, the more confident I am that Nico's going to play today.
There you go. We'll take it.
Yeah. You talking about this official visit we got? Two things. If he was willing to leave his game, get in the van, and start his visit and come this way, shows how excited he is to come back to Tennessee and to be in Neyland Stadium for a game. But I think also, how do you think he would feel, Coach, when he took the ball walk with the team today? Because he did.
Yeah, it's an awesome feeling. And I truly believe whenever you can get these kids on campus for a big game, like you look at the kids we had on campus for the Alabama game, a lot of those kids ended up committing, man. When you can put a young man in that kind of environment, it's palpable, right? Like they can feel it, they can taste it, they can smell it, they can see themselves out on that field with that fan base storming, celebrating, smoking cigars, and you start believing in it. And when you're a player, belief is everything. I know we all talk about it a lot on this channel, but I think it's huge, and I think it gives us a big bump. And I think we get them in the boat.
One thing, players can't go through the Vol Walk. A recruit, they can be there watching.
They go like
they can't
stand on the side, right?
Yeah,
like
they
put them in the tunnel and then they come in with, right?
I think so. They can't.
I think I've seen one of the kids do it. Yeah. I get what you're saying though.
I like the response. I saw somebody on VolQuest had to, because the big question was Chris Cole going to make it in town, right? Everybody was saying Georgia. He takes the trip out there on the yacht with Coach Jay to Southern Cal. Then it was like, oh, they're a player, and it's USC and Georgia. And I saw somebody's response to Chris, the whole van thing, and Brian Jean-Marie riding back. He said, you're going to have to look Brian Jean-Marie in the eye and say, I'm not coming for my official visits. You didn't have a chance to send a text message or a phone call. You had to look Coach in the eye and say, I'm not coming. So it's big, man. It'd be a huge one if they can get him in the boat. Josh Bailey, member for 11 months. Appreciate that. Milton for Heisman. Vols by 50,000.
Yeah, let's get that Heisman campaign going for old Joe.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love. It's always funny when people get mad at me for talking about Nico or whatever I'm talking about. It's like I'm the biggest Joe Milton supporter, maybe walking this earth, man. I would love nothing more than to see him go out and ball out and get to New York, have a shot at a Heisman, first round NFL draft pick. What a redemption story that would be. Noah James for 2. Appreciate the super chat. I got to high five Jacob Warren at the Vol Walk. Awesome. Noah's inside the stadium right now. Said it's already rocking and electric. How crazy is that? Sellout tonight, guys. Sellout for
awesome,
Austin
man.
Peay. That's
every game's already been sold out.
That's the Josh Heupel effect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
When Tennessee's for me anyway, growing up and when I fell in love with Tennessee, it was because of the way Tennessee traveled, man, and the whole environment they brought wherever they went. It wasn't just Neyland. It was at the Rose Bowl or Anaheim or wherever I may be watching them. They were electric, and their fan base was electric, and it was awesome to see. So yeah, Heupel waking everybody up, right?
And also for me, like for my generation of watching Tennessee football, because like I said, now that we're really on the uptrend, we didn't sell out games like this. It was like Austin Peay, like, oh, it's just Austin Peay. The Vols are gonna, like, you knew the Vols were gonna win, but it wasn't a sold out Neyland Stadium. But now, since we got Josh Heupel and the season that we had last season, I mean, yeah, like what you said, I say, Rules, it's definitely the Josh Heupel effect. Like, when you win, when you beat Alabama, when you beat LSU and Pitt and all those teams we beat last season, it does have that effect, and it makes people want to come and see what Neyland is all about. So yeah, it's definitely very exciting.
A bunch of youngsters.
Yep.
And it's like I told Boogie, I said, you, Dauber, and JP, you guys are spoiled. I was like, look, me, like saying, for this generation of watching Tennessee football, I've watched the suck for the past 5 to 6 years. So
it's even worse being good than suck. Then
man.
That's the thing. We have been, we are spoiled, but then, man, it made the lows even lower, didn't it, John?
Oh yeah.
Like we enjoyed the good days and what it used to be, what it's supposed to be, and then I hear people like X telling me stories of the players that he loves, and I'm like, oh, you didn't mention Al Wilson, you didn't mention Leonard Little, not even like Jason Witten or somebody like that. Like
now, Jason Witten and Al Wilson, so I can understand
the Andy Kellys, like no clue who Andy Kelly is.
Yeah.
Well, I was 6 years old when they won it in '98, so I slight memory of it. But I mean, I enjoyed they got to the SEC championship in 2004 and 2007. So I mean, there were some good teams then. Casey Clausen and some Eric Ainge and a couple other guys. But for the majority of my lifetime, it's been. Let's just say I tell my wife all the time, you ain't got to worry about me being loyal because
right.
I'm about as loyal as it gets.
Anybody that's been a Tennessee fan for the last 20 years is loyal. They're loyal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bob, when did you start watching? When did you start watching Tennessee football, Bob? What have you been through and experienced as a Tennessee fan?
I became a true University of Tennessee Vol fan at the UT Penn State, the UT Penn State game, which was the first start at Neyland Stadium for our illustrious Artful Dodger.
Oh, wow.
From that day forward, I have been a UT fan. That was my first game at Neyland. It was his first game at home. and we won.
So what do you think about the jersey? You were there for an iconic moment that this football team is honoring tonight against Austin Peay. What do you think about the jerseys?
I like the jerseys. I would have rather seen them actually pull out that exact copy.
Like they did when
for the
Ainge and
nostalgia.
Schaefer. Yeah, I like those too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they could have got the right cut with today's pads and all. So I get it. But I mean, I think it's a good representation to show to our fans and the rest of the world, for that matter. What you're talking about? I mean, I can only look back at. I was 8 years old at that game. I was a little shit. You know, I'm only 59 years old, but it was like in '72, if I'm not mistaken, it's '72. But yeah, I mean, I think they're great.
Let me get a couple of super chats here. There's a good question on the super chat too. Tyler Harrison for 5. Thank you for the $5, brother. I'm hoping Florida does terrible, and I'm going to be comparing Tennessee and Florida because they are both at home and playing easy teams. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I like to do the emotional responses around the SEC, and people get mad and say it's just 1 week. It's just 1 week. I know, but that's what's fun about it, is to overreact and get emotional. All Vols ball for 5. Favorite ball player of all time, current or past? Mine is Alvin Kamara or Al Wilson. Let's go around the room. Coach Jay, you kick it off. Favorite ball player of all time?
Man, that's it. It's a toss up between Peyton and Eric Berry. It really is for me. I was at that game in the Rose Bowl where Peyton, came in there. My first game ever was an '88 game at UCLA, yeah, and then a 1990 game in Anaheim against Colorado. If any of you guys remember that back in 1990, that was the year that I think Colorado and Notre Dame played the national championship, and Rocket Ishmael had that kick return called back at the end of the game.
95, wasn't it?
It could have been 95. I thought it was 90, but maybe it was 95, and I'm getting a little crossed up. But I've been at pretty much any time they would come out the West Coast after. I think 85 was the first year I went, but I was like 3 and didn't remember it. And then we went back in '88, and that was kind of the year I fell in love with Tennessee, if you will. Mine is Butch Jones. Yeah.
Whoa! I say I'll go ahead and go next.
Man,
That comment.
man.
Okay, no, give me Jawan Jennings, Josh Dobbs.
There you go.
Jawan Jennings. At the Georgia game.
This is the shirt they were giving out at Calhoun's before the '96 win over Florida. So that was fun. Yeah.
What about you, Bob? Favorite player of all time? Lucas is in the back. I can't add him because he's actually at the game and it's so loud. But he put in the private chat here. Wants to let everybody know that Nico is warming up. So that's a good sign. Bob, what do you got? Who is your favorite Vol of all time, past or present?
It's a real tight toss up. It is, but it's a real tight toss up. I've got to give an honorable mention to my Artful Dodger. But I would say it had to be Jason Witten and Peyton Manning.
Okay. Good ones.
What about you, Rocky Top Rules?
Mine's Eric Berry, and then probably a tie between Derek Barnett and Cordero Patterson.
Yep.
You know, I want to say one more thing before we go to the next guy. You know, you're talking about trash talking those other teams on Thursdays. How about Eastern Kentucky, the Colonels holding it strong with Kentucky right now going into
7-7. Yeah, 7.5. And Kentucky barely got
scored.
That. Yeah, just scored their touchdown just before the half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dustin, since you just joined by saying, look, all-time favorite ball player, current or past?
I know.
I mean, right now, I love Joe, of course. I think he's just got such potential that, he's easily the favorite. But all time, man, I'm kind of a big Heath Schuler guy, believe it or not.
He was a good one, too. Good one.
I'm from Maryville, which is right down the road from Knoxville, and I was probably like 11 or 12 and went to a quarterback's camp back in my quarterbacking days and midget and peewee football back in the day. But he showed up as like the guest, whatever. And I'll never forget, he had a shirt on that said 425-pound bench press club. I was like, okay. But I just had some great memories of listening to him. Of course, Peyton's got to be up there too. But off the top of my head, that's some of my top 2 or 3.
Who we got left? John's you've not gone yet. Who you got?
No, Reggie White.
I
had 2 pictures with him when I was 12.
There you go.
Game, so, yeah,
that's awesome.
He was awesome.
Man, I'm like you guys. I can rattle off so many. It's like the ones that stand out when I was like Little Man Stewart. James Little Man Stewart was a big one. Cobb and Webb. I see everybody putting that in the chat.
Pickens.
Jason Witten was another one that I loved, and I was a Redskins fan. So when he got drafted by the Cowboys, it was like it crushed my soul. But I'm still doing the same story I've always done, man. It's Andy Kelly, because he's the first guy I ever remember actually sitting down and watching, and that's who I went out in the backyard and wanted to pretend to be. Was number 8 back there with the happy feet dancing. God, he was just that's the first dude that made me fall in love with Tennessee football. The Fragrance Vol for 5. Thank you for the super chat. The Vols hype is through the roof, especially on campus. Our student section isn't even near big enough to meet ticket demand. That's a good problem to have. We were talking about it earlier. The fact that it's Austin Peay and it's sold out. It is. One of you guys said it's the Josh Heupel effect. It is, and it sucks for people that want to go to games because it's next to impossible to go to a game now. But on the flip side, it's a good problem to have. Things have changed down there in Knoxville. Wade Rouse for 2. Appreciate it, brother. Cooper is dressed but not going through warm-ups, according to Eric Kane. I was listening to something on VolQuest earlier, and they were saying that Cooper is more than likely playing that Florida game, according to the way that Josh Heupel's acting. So
that was on Vol Calls.
Was it
the other night? Josh Heupel mentioned it, and they were talking about how he's never, one to bring up, player status before the game, but they were joking around because it's Austin Peay week. They're like, well, I guess he could just go ahead and say everything since he's not really, he's taking this game serious, but he did say Cooper's going to sit out this game, but we're doing everything to have him 100% ready to go for Florida.
Yeah, I mean, you just save him for Florida. I mean, I don't think it's necessary for him to come out for Austin Peay because Ollie Lane did really, really good against Virginia last Saturday. So I think he's going to do pretty good.
Dane Davis did too.
Well, my question is for anybody. So for anybody that's at the game, maybe they can tell us in the chat if they see Coop on the sideline, is he dressed out? Because it would not surprise me if they pull him in for a couple series in the fourth just to get his hands on the ball. If they got a good enough lead, maybe put him in with the seconds or thirds.
They say he's dressed out. He's just not warmed up.
Yeah, he's dressed, but not.
He'll probably start practicing.
I just wonder because that was my question going in is do you want him to get hit a few times before he actually goes down there and plays in the swamp? So I'm kind of surprised that Heupel's acting like he's definitely playing against Florida, but not going to play tonight. So that's interesting. Parker Townsend for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Anybody know how to watch? I have SEC Network with DirecTV. Sign in with provider on ESPN app, and it still says I need a subscription.
It's on Plus.
Yeah, secondary paywall.
You got to have an ESPN Plus account, which I would encourage you, especially if you like Tennessee baseball. Sign up. It's like what is it, like $6 or $7? You get every Tennessee baseball game. It's worth it. It is worth it for baseball alone.
And I think you can buy just a month too, if I'm not mistaken. If you really just want to watch this game,
you can probably get a free 7-day trial. If I was guessing,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Cancel it right there.
Cancel it.
Yeah. Just set a reminder. Yeah.
Rolly season for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Apparently, someone on Facebook thinks you're trolling your community. All I got to say is keep up the great work, Boogie. Doing a hell of a job. Yeah. If you were on the Facebook group early this morning, man, I had just got a cup of coffee and was sitting down to get ready to come make a video, and I get a text from JP. He's like, you might want to look at the Facebook group. It is going off the wheels. Yeah, some people hate me, and it's fine. It is what it is. Apparently, this hat triggers people. Apparently, a good shirt triggers people. It's like, I'm sorry. I will dress for the job every single day. You know what? Sometimes when you make 3 videos in a day, you're not decked out in orange, and you just sit down and hit record and talk Tennessee football. I'm sorry if that offends people.
At least you're living free in her mind.
And it was anybody. Is anybody in the Facebook group? Did you guys see that this morning?
No,
I did not.
It was hilarious. Apparently, the dude posted like 8 or 9 times to say how much he hates me and he loves talking Vols, but he hates me. He had DM'd me. I shouldn't be saying all this on air. He had DM'd me last year trying to give me advice. And if you had seen the post that he put out there on Facebook, you would say, I'm sure the advice was great. And I said, I appreciate that. And then I just didn't do what he said. Then he texted messaged JP and said that JP needed to kick me off the channel. JP's like, well, it's kind of his channel. I can't exactly kick him off. So thank you, Rolly Season, for bringing that up on the Tailgate Show. All Vols ball for 2. YouTube TV is a blessing. Yep, I love YouTube TV. I'm watching.
Yeah, it's good.
I love the 4-window view. So you can pick 4 games. All 4 games are going at the same time. I love it. Adam nicely becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, Adam. Thank you, guys. For the support. We are about 25 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to take you guys all the way up to it. Make sure you do smash the thumbs up. Share out the link. Somebody in the chat says, not enough likes. Hit the thumbs up. That is quick, free, and easy. We would appreciate it. Also, I want to do a little quick plug for some merch. We got brand new merch out there. We need you guys to pick some of it up. It also helps support the channel as well. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We got the brand new letter shirts. Danny White brought back the letters. What a move that was. I love it. I talk about Andy Kelly and how that's some of my first memories, but also my first memory seeing Neyland Stadium was seeing those ball letters on the side. Love that he brought them back. Everybody's dropping merch, so why not us? Cult member shirts. We're not a family. We're a cult, but you guys can pick it up. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The links are all in the description for that as well. But if you guys, man, if you're repping Talkin VAWLS merch out there somewhere in the wild, whether you're at a game or just anywhere, tag me up on Twitter at Boogie Bentley. Would love to see it. Charles McDowell becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, Charles. Thank you for the support, my man. All right. Who dropped it? Who did I offend? Who did I offend that they felt the need to leave? Who left?
Nobody.
Oh, Rocky Top Rule. No, he's still here.
Yeah.
Oh, it switched. That's what
there
it
you
did.
go.
All right. All right. We're about 20 minutes away from kickoff. What do you guys? Rocky Top Rules, what are you looking for tonight? What do you want to see?
Lots of Cam Selden, lots of Nico. I mean, it's something we've preached all week, but dude, I want to see Cam Selden. I know I saw I think who was Eric Kane pick. He wants Cam Selden get in the end zone a couple times as his pick for most people to get touchdowns. So I'd say I want to see, Cam Selden get lots of touches, especially in the second half. And then, one other thing, I want to see Ramel Keaton catch a deep ball, get that out of his mind about that drop. I know he knows he can catch it, but he's probably tired of hearing the fans all week talking about it. And then get Dante Thornton involved early. And, have another edge rusher step up. James Pierce stepped up last week. Yes, I want James Pierce to keep doing what he's doing, but I'd like to see either Caleb Herring in the second half. Maybe he gets a lot of action, get him some sacks, or Chandavian Bradley get him a sack or two. So I mean, just lots of young depth. Get them in the game early. And just let them play, man. Don't taper the game to where you're just handing the ball off and getting the game over with. Let them play. Let them show what they got.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see two or three of everything. I want to see 2 or 3 long bombs. I want to see 2 or 3 long runs. I want to see Nico run one in, 2 or 3 picks on our side. And a good rotation on both sides too. I'm really hoping that, at the very latest, start of the second half, we're in a good enough position where, full second teams pretty much on both sides. I'd love to see that. And then, I like to see the offensive line continue to gel. And then, regardless of whether Cooper's back next week, I think they still, have some room to grow there and continue to kind of open up those holes. And like you said, I like to see, Elijah Herring and whoever's replacing Peay kind of step up and get a bunch of reps there too, because that's going to be important. That was I don't think a season changing loss, but it was definitely, hit our depth a little bit right there. So the more you can work those guys in, the better.
Absolutely.
Let me jam a couple of super chats real quick, and then we'll get your thoughts there, Bob. Pan-seared ribeye Man, that sounds good. That's making my mouth water a little bit. For $5, thank you for the super chat. Del Jones played big for his side, worked so hard. Man, why can I not read tonight? Worked so hard to make the team and ended up being a multi-year starter. Had an uncanny knack for the ball. That's another good pick for all-time favorite Vols. Justin Denton, nothing to say, just drops a $10 super chat. Appreciate that support, Justin. Also, the Fragrance Vol becomes a member of the channel. Looks like he joined at Talkin VAWLS Elite, so I appreciate that.
Nice.
That is very generous. Also, Agent Ghost Gaming for $5. Do you think Jackson Ross is going to be any better this game with as loud as our crowd can be? I kind of talked about it on the video I put out this morning. We may not see Jackson Ross today. I mean, if it goes the way we expect it to go, Jackson Ross probably isn't going to get much work. So I don't know. He definitely needs some. Struggled last week. And then now you're going to stand on the sideline all night and then go down to the swamp and try to fix things in the swamp. We'll see. Maybe the jitters are gone.
I'd like to see Charles Campbell get at least one field goal attempt before he goes to Florida. I mean, and it may be something where Josh Heupel just kind of like 3rd and 8, just run the ball. If we get the first down, we don't give, especially later in the game. Let Charles Campbell get him a kick, get that out of us, get that past it.
Well,
yeah, and I think hopefully in the second half, the pressure might be off a little bit and get Ross a couple kicks. Not that I want to ever punt in this game, but maybe that's the time where he can kind of relax and just do what he does, because apparently he's got an insanely good leg, or 2 legs actually, he can kick on both sides apparently. But it would be nice to get those jitters out of the way.
Well, what I'd like to see is what my predictions were. I'd like to see we get 200-yard rushers. I'd like to see us get 12 TFLs, at least 3 sacks and 3 takeaways, and I'd be happy. And I think those are all achievable with the teams that we have. Completely achievable, and it will show dominance, and it'll be a damn sight better than I watched Georgia play today.
Their schedule's a joke.
Their schedule's a joke, and look who they played today. And they blew them out, but they did not look that strong. I mean, they didn't do anything in the first half. Did not do anything in the first half.
380 yards or something.
It's the same. Same thing with Kentucky.
Yeah, first quarter they didn't score a point in the first quarter at all, and I'm like, this is the number 1 team in the nation against a high school team. Come on.
I'd like to see a few more, deep balls too, just to kind of, keep Joe putting the touch on the ball, and Dante needs a hit. Keaton needs to, redeem himself for the last one. And, I'd like to see Brew run over some people, maybe a little slant or, something to the side where he kind of gets free and all of those screens. But, hopefully they can open it up more than just kind of throwing it to the side or over the middle. And then tight ends too, love to see Warren and Castles and even Davis get a few touches or some touchdowns too.
I wonder if it'll be similar to last week game plan wise, where they take a couple of shots, but then you're going to see, like you just said, a lot of the quick stuff to the sideline, a lot of running the football. Got a lot of super chats coming in. You guys being very generous tonight. We got almost 400 people watching live. Don't forget, we'll be live right after the game. Within a matter of minutes of the game ending, we will be live right back here. Guess what? If it storms, there's delays, and it's 2:00 in the morning, I may be sitting here by myself, but we will do a post-game show, so do not.
No, you won't.
It'll be early because Coach will be here because it'll be like 11 o'clock for him. So
I got you, Boog, if that happens.
Rain or shine, delay or no delay, we will be here for the post-game show. Crystal for $5, thank you for the super chat. Sunshine and I are at the Pirate Bar in Paradise, ready for the game. That sounds like a fun way to watch the game. Thank you for the super chat. Justin Denton for $5 says, didn't see the message area. I've been feeling a big game from Jacob Warren. He finds the end zone again today. I love me some Jacob Warren. I love the letter to Vol Nation that he wrote. If you've not seen that, go check it out. Parker Townsend for $5. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the help. How was Coach Jay's game last night? Brief recap. GBO. Well, he's had a smile on his face since we went live. That should tell you one thing. Give him the rundown, Coach. How'd it go last night?
Goose egg, 35-0, and it was a big one. So dang proud of them. It's a team that's it's a new team this year, and it's a team that's turned around and had some hard times, and man, those kids have stepped out of their own skins this year, and I've been damn proud to be helping them out. And it's been a beautiful thing. Boogie knew it was a big one and a bit of a revenge spot. So and one where I'd been plotting for some time. So to be able to get a goose egg on that and to be able to have a game plan come together perfectly is always going to put a big smile on my face, guys. Absolutely.
You guys should have
So
seen
it
the
was awesome.
whiteboard.
Congrats,
you
man.
should have
Thank
seen the
you.
whiteboard on Friday morning before I told Coach to move the camera and get it off the screen. There was all kinds of lingo.
I was
and
ready to go.
play
Yeah,
calls
yeah.
ready to go. James Schrum for $5. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Entry fee. It's great to be a Tennessee Vol. Thank you, James, for the support. Pan-seared ribeye with another 2. Thank you, my friend. Why isn't D. Williams moved to offense? He is explosive. That's something we talked about all the time. I made the comparison to Evan Berry. Just the way that they create holes in the return game. And yes, I understand. Somebody like to point out, Boogie, Evan Berry returned kickoffs, not punts. I'm very well aware of where Evan Berry played on the football field. But it was also very similar. Like a lot of people said, why is Evan Berry not on offense? So I don't know. That's an interesting question. Wesley Page for 5. Thank you for that. Let's go, boys. Time for Milton, the passing game to show out today. VFL. Thank you, Wesley. All right, we are caught up on super chats. Go ahead, Bob. I cut you off 4 times to read the super chats.
That's cool. It's your show, brother. I'm right behind you. I'll say this. People asking why he's not playing on the offensive line. And Coach, I'm sure you can put this out. There's a difference between catching a kickoff or a punt because of the angle of the ball coming at you, as opposed to catching a pass that might have heat on it, may have touch on it. It's a different feel for the catcher. He may have the skills, but they want to protect him for that special teams play.
It's highly specialized, your vision and your lanes when you're doing something like kick return or punt return. It's just different altogether. And my suspicion would it be that the problem with D. Williams is in between his temples, if you will. I think it kind of lies there because he's got a lot of speed. We haven't seen much of him, but just thinking back to his junior college film, he looked like he had good hips and looked like he had a run. So I've got to think it's the mind part of the game that's causing the issues for D. Williams on defense. Certainly. Yeah. But it is different. Yeah.
I just wish he could. I wish he could be like Valus Jones was, a few years back. Because Valus Jones, he was great in punt return, and he was also good on offense as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might be a hands thing. I don't know. Catching passes versus catching punts is a couple different things there. What's his actual position though? Is on defense? Is he safety or corner?
Cornerback.
Cool.
Cornerback, and you can block, and if you can get to the ball as a cornerback, blocking the ball is different than catching it. He may be able to block a lot of balls, but you may not ever see him get very many interceptions because he may just not have that touch in his hands to catch the ball. Because when you catch kickoff and punch, you're catching it in your stomach. You're catching it with your hands and your arms. You're using your body to catch it. Whereas when you're a receiver, you're using your hands. You're not trying to catch it with the body. You're trying to use your hands at all times.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm just like, but it's a depth thing. I mean, we got so much depth at wide receiver and running back. I mean, if you put him on the offensive side of the ball, you're taking touches away from guys like Jalen Wright, Squirrel White, Dante Thornton. I mean, those guys are just as explosive. I mean, I know D. Williams is explosive at punt return, and I mean, he looked good for the one kick return he did last week. But and that's one thing I'd say: don't take the ball away from your playmakers you already got, because that gets in their head. Like, just let Coach Heupel, I trust. I mean, that's the biggest thing I just want to say. Yeah, just
and those players you mentioned, were recruited for offense. You know what I mean? So no need to, fix it if it ain't broke.
Exactly.
I'm scrolling through the VolQuest game thread. Lightning has been detected in the area as of 1 minute ago. 30 minutes from last strike. So we're going to have at least a 20-minute delay on kickoff as of right now. Man, I saw some people talking about this on the VolQuest message boards, and it's like, I understand safety's important and you don't risk it, you don't chance it, but it's like, man, growing up, how many games did you ever see canceled for lightning? It's like it never happens. And now it's like I was talking about Greenville, they were on TV playing Alcoa this week. Greenville's played 4 football games and 2 of them have been canceled for lightning. So they played 4 weeks. They prepared all offseason to get ready for this thing. And they've had two of their first 4 games just ended and canceled because of lightning. But what I wanted to bring up, though, rolling through it here from VolQuest, Shandavion Bradley is not in pads. Nathan Laycock is not in pads. Let's see here. Where's somebody else? Jason Witten's in the house. Let's see. There's somebody else. Cam Seldon's got some type of brace on his arm. Somebody else was in street close to. I'm scrolling through all these real quick. Let's see. Where is it? Deshaun Rucker is not in pads. Will Brooks is not in a uniform. So a lot of people out. Cooper's dressed. He's in the back of the line. So
yeah, he's not gonna play.
Look, if we can confirm the lightning delay, we can stay live. You guys want us to stay live? Put it in the chat. We'll stay live till they kick this thing off. What's up, Trucker Dougie? Where are you at in the world right now, brother?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas. Put it all on red. Put it all on red. I feel confident.
I'm headed to California.
Austin Warren in the chat drops a $5 super chat. Nothing to say, just a tip in the old tip jar. I appreciate that, Austin. Thank you for the support. You guys let us know in the chat. You want us to stay live? I'll put these guys to work for another 30 minutes. Not really. We'll see. We'll see how the lightning delay goes. What do y'all think about that, though? Like, I get it. Safety's important. You don't want to. It's a football game at the end of the day.
I always thought football you play in rain, snow, sleet, or hail.
Just not lightning.
Yeah, that's the post office.
Yeah.
Football and fight.
Stop in Peay, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's just a Tuesday.
Football and fighting aren't safe. Get over it. Get a helmet. Go play.
Yeah. Come on, Tulane.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, quick subject change. Boogie, I loved hearing you on Locked On Balls this week. Is that a regular thing, certain days a week or week to week kind of deal for you?
Every Thursday morning.
Every Thursday morning, I'll be over there. Every Monday morning, Kaner will be over here. I'm going to try to cook something up for Florida week. A little wild card up my sleeve. A certain somebody said that we run an elite program over here. Or he might have said program. This person might have said that we run an elite program. I'm going to see if I can reach out to him. He said he would love to come back on. It's Florida week, man. It's go time. We'll see if we can get that person back on the show. Maybe reach out to Ben McKee, see if he wants to jump on with me and Coach on Friday. I think we need to bring all hands on deck this week for the Florida game. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll be on with Kaner every Thursday.
I've been trying to do a little jabs at Josh Peay. I don't know if you guys know who Josh Peay was, but he was the comedian that said that was talking about Florida, and then when he watched the Florida-Tennessee game, he fell in love with Tennessee, and he likes our fan base now. So I've been I got told Bug when we was in the back room, I'm kind of rattling the tree a little bit. He did look at my DMs, like I did message him, but he hasn't wrote me back yet. So I need your guys' help to reach out to him on Twitter. Just tag him up, say, hey, come to Talkin VAWLS, and yeah, let's definitely get him here for Florida week, man. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, funny story.
Sorry.
Go ahead. What was it, X? What was his name?
Josh Peay.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, this is off the subject a little bit, but just speaking of Tennessee things, I was playing a songwriters round last night in Nashville. And, these days you get a lot of Yankees coming down to Nashville trying to sing country music and all that. But this guy was actually pretty decent. He was a Wisconsin Badgers fan, but last year he wrote a song called "The Season That Changed Me," and now he's a Vols fan. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
And I wonder how much they're going to play Tennessee Orange after we kick Georgia's ass.
Hey, let's hope so.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs that came out of last season for sure.
Oh my gosh, there you go, Coach. Mrs. Coach Jeff says if the game's delayed, keep Coach working. I'll just keep drinking. I have no idea how many times we finish, and we finish a stream, and we're in the back room talking after, and you just see a hand slide over to Coach with a drink in it.
I have a couple for me.
There you go.
And you were talking about all the Yankees coming down and play music or try to play country music down in Nashville. I grew up in Nashville, so I know what you're talking about, especially on Lower Broad down in that area.
Yeah, and I grew up on the 80s, 90s country, but I don't really write country. more of a rock and roll dude or a piano guy, but whatever. But yeah, it's a common denominator. It's like, oh well, I know a few chords, and I'm from Michigan. Let's go make it happen in Nashville. And there's a lot of talent. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of Jason Aldean, Taylor Swift wannabes too. You know what I mean? So it's like it all runs together, unfortunately.
Getting mixed signals from the chat. Some people saying it looks pretty clear from here on out. Somebody else saying that it's supposed to storm until 6:30. So it sounds like we got a lot of people that could work for the Weather Channel as well in the chat, because that sounds about like anything you get.
Yeah,
it's clear or it's going to storm. One or the other. Not sure which.
Yeah, there you go.
A lot of coaches and a lot of weathermen sitting at home.
I wonder what it is to reschedule it. I mean, these aren't high school kids. That's the thing about BBD's in the chat. His Greenville guys getting rescheduled or just canceled. I mean, they're high school kids, right? They've been at school since 6 o'clock that morning. They got to get up the next day, whatever. But I mean, these are college kids. I think they're going to try to get it in.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
They'll play.
Well,
Austin's not too far away, anyways.
Yeah. Well, earlier when I was watching the Notre Dame and the North Carolina State game, because it was delayed too. And one of the ESPN reporters, she said that they'll delay it until it's like midnight if they have to, and then they'll continue to play. So
it'd be good for Coach in that West Coast time.
Yeah. It doesn't bug me very much, right?
What do you get? You get like what, 14 hours of football, I guess, out there, because it starts like so freaking
9 a.m.
Yeah, it starts at 9 a.m. So if Hawaii has the late game, I get to watch football from like 9 a.m. to like 1 in the morning, and Miss J just walks by me at 11:30 at night like I'm a psychopath and.
Or you sleep on the couch.
Smirks. Yeah, or I sleep on the couch and get yelled at. Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah, I'm looking at the weather now, and it looks like it's clearing up and being gone out of here.
It's what it looks like to me too, but yeah.
Let's get really fun here. Let's get exciting. Here we go. Weather
Doppler report. There you go.
Live on Talkin VAWLS.
There you go.
Talking weather.
Talking weather.
Now you need to zoom in to Rocky Top now.
There you go. There you go.
Right there. Knoxville's right there.
Rocky Top's Lake City now.
2 days.
Yeah, it looks clear.
So that's the thing, because that's what they were talking about. Is the lightning strikes are 8 miles away. What are we worried about if they're 8 miles away?
I don't know.
What's the odds of getting hit by lightning?
Yeah.
You can get hit up with 30 miles.
Oh, yeah. I was supposed to say it can't do within 30 miles. That's the NCAA rule.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Maybe it's because I'm Californian, but I've never even heard of someone getting hit by lightning personally. Like someone I know. You guys got someone that's been hit by lightning? Anyone?
No.
Okay.
I have a friend who knew somebody that got killed by lightning.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's usually the way it goes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
I know somebody that knows somebody that got hit by that.
Yeah. Okay.
VFL Willie for 2 says it only rained about 15 minutes here in Morristown. The Fragrance Ball for 2. I'm at the Student Union, and the skies look dark. It's starting to storm here, but that has nothing to do with Knoxville. So let me refresh the VolQuest chat here and see if they've got any breaking news.
Any other
5-17. Looking at a 5-17 start right now. So there has not been another strike as of yet. That was just a moment ago from Eric Kane. So,
any other games y'all keeping up with right now?
I'm currently watching the Kentucky game.
Kentucky.
I'm watching
man.
I'm watching the Miami Texas A&M game on the side here.
How's that going?
And,
did they start it? Because it was delayed too, wasn't it?
They started it, and Miami's doing everything they can to give this game to Texas A&M. It's 17-7 right now, but Miami's muffed 3 punts and given them the ball inside the 20 3 times.
Dang. I was kind of pulling for Miami to upset.
Yeah,
so.
and as was I. Yeah, and then the Colorado game, I know they were talking about in the chat a minute ago. It's
Do
like
you guys believe?
Colorado's got skill positions, but we were talking about it, X. They got great skill position guys, but their O-line the second they get against a good D line, they're gonna get their lunch ate.
We coming.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Look,
I didn't stutter when I said
Hey,
we
I had
coming.
money on Colorado today. I got no problem with them. I just,
Yeah,
you know,
it's just like I was talking like in the coach and Boogie before we started. I mean, people try to put the narrative that Deion Sanders doesn't know how to coach, and it's like, look, it's Deion Sanders. This man has played a lot of football in his career. I mean, we all grew up watching him and stuff. I'm pretty sure that we know like Deion knows a little something about coaches, and he got a good coaching staff behind him. So
yeah.
My question.
Hold on, check out this super chat from Stevie J for $20. Stevie, that ain't cheap. Stevie paid $20 to let us know that his semi truck got hit by lightning out in New Mexico one time while I was still in it, and he survived to tell us the story. So line him up and let's play football. What channel is Texas A&M on?
Hey,
ABC.
ABC.
Yeah,
Hey, Virginia's offense looked really good today against the stingy James Madison defense. So
They let them come back and beat them.
Yeah, they did. They did, but it was interesting. And then Utah really struggling against a Baylor team, Baylor team that lost to Texas State last week, if you recall. So interesting stuff.
Tulane is beating Ole Miss 17-10 at half.
Yeah, I see that.
I like that.
Oh yeah.
well,
Going back to Deion real quick, Daisy chaining off of X up there. I have no doubt that he's a hell of a competitor and a hell of a coach. My question is, how loyal is he going to be to Colorado if he gets a couple of 8-9 win seasons? And some big dogs are going to come calling. And then my random thought was, I mean, who knows how long Nick Saban's going to be there, but what if old Deion ended up at Alabama one of these days?
I
just
like
crossed
I
my
said,
mind.
look,
It just crossed my mind.
No. I'm right there with you, like saying Dustin, man. Look, I've been trying to tell people. I said, look, I'd say maybe give Deion maybe 3 years, if that, and then build his resume up in Colorado, and eventually, if Nick Saban's out the door, man, he could come knocking out that door. Because look, we all know Alabama's not going to stay down forever. They want to find a coach that's going to keep on their winning streak, keep that winning brand for them. Because I'll tell you right now, it sure as hell ain't Dabo. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Dabo's not going to
Lane.
Alabama.
I don't think anybody's interested in having Lane come back there either.
So in my honest opinion, like if I'm looking at Deion and I'm looking at his winning resume, I think he's probably the guy for the job. But then again, I don't know.
Yeah.
Touchdown Miami.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was just saying that I think, I think if he has a couple of good seasons, he might not be there very long because I think a lot of other big dogs might come calling for him.
Oh yeah, if they have the money, they're willing to pay him. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, Miami scored, so they're within 3, even after shooting themselves in the foot multiple times. Coach Shea might have had a little money line bet on the upset in the Miami game.
Nice,
little money line bet.
I still got the Notre Dame game on ABC.
Me too.
Somebody said
it got delayed, so they moved it to ESPN News. I think is what happened, Boogie. Yeah.
How's Texas A&M offense look so far? Can you tell?
They look terrible running the football, and they look okay throwing the ball over the middle. But I mean, I'm not impressed. So,
quick note, Coach Jay talked about Texas State earlier knocking off Baylor. They're playing UTSA right now.
Interesting
Texas State
game.
Is. Yeah. And Texas State. I was listening to.
They had a good team last year. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were talking about the scheme Texas State runs. They run a scheme on offense. It's a breed of the hypo offense.
Yep.
So I've been paying attention to that game, kind of see, it's 14-10 right now, but just kind of see what they do against that Texas State offense that runs a scheme kind of like Tennessee.
Yeah, that's got to play to Tennessee's favor because your defense runs against that every single day in practice, right?
They're going to get a look at it. Yeah, they're going to get a look at it, no doubt about it.
Am I crazy for not being scared of that game? I'm like, come on, man. They're gonna beat the brakes off of them.
Athleticism will take over.
Yeah,
they'll take them. they'll take them seriously because of their recent history.
Oh, sure.
It's not a true trap. I think Austin Price said it really well. It's not a trap game because you see it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very evident that it could be a trap game, so they're going to keep their eye on it.
But because of the name and who they used to be, I mean, UTSA used to be one of the worst teams in the country. It's fairly new that they've kind of come on, right?
I thought that school I thought they shut their football program down because it was so bad. And then when they restarted it, they won like the conference the first year and have won every year since, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Under that same quarterback, that quarterback's the thing that is making everyone scared of him. And he's been a world killer, but back in last week against Houston, he threw 8 picks in the first half, something like that, which is not him. And so it'll be interesting to see how he responds. Is there something wrong with him, or was it, a throwaway game where it's just not your day? I guess we'll find out today against a decent Texas State team.
Yeah. Well, the first 2 years. The first 2 years UTSA came back, they were actually FCS. And then they got bumped up.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, they got bumped up to the Division One and the Sun Belt. I think they're in the Sun Belt. And they've won.
When did they cancel the program? It's had to have been.
I don't remember.
Less than 10 years ago.
That was my understanding of it, anyways. But yeah.
It's been about 8 or 9 years because I think the last year they were FCS, that Frank Harris was their quarterback, and he's been there. This is his 7th year, and I think it may have just been 7 years or 8 years like that, but this is his 7th year, and of course he's somehow still there.
Let me hit a couple of super chats real quick. Parker Townsend for 2. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Says another delay. I'm still rolling on VolQuest, and Kaner's not said anything about it. Somebody just asked, was there a second strike? He's not commented yet. So I've not seen anything official on that. I know some of you guys in the chat were saying there was another delay. The last thing I saw was Eric Kane said 5:17. I've not seen a change since then. If I see it, I will let you guys know. But yeah, we are under a lightning delay, so we're just going to hang out. We're going to keep talking Tennessee football with you guys. Why not?
Yeah.
The chat is growing.
Yeah.
We got 450 people in here watching live, so we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Don't forget, we'll be live immediately following the game. It does not matter if it's at 4 in the morning. We will be right here covering Tennessee football with a post-game show. So make sure you come back if it's your first time on the channel. Just a bunch of regular dudes that talk Tennessee football. If you like it, subscribe, click that bell for notifications, all that good stuff. I like to see this right here. Andrew Garland for 2. Appreciate that super chat. Chris Cole hanging out with AK pregame. How do you like that Alvin Kamara is coming back around quite a bit now that Josh Heupel was taking over?
I love it.
Yeah, no,
well, it's like what you said, Boog. As far as like the NFL standpoint, like I say, he is the face for us. But if Hendon Hooker gets a shine, with the Lions, then right now, it's Alvin. So,
yeah. No, he's a popular name right now. So, like you always say, Boogie, they don't all remember all these great volunteers we've been talking about. No matter which one you want to bring up. So I think it's huge whenever you can get current NFL players that are talented around the team as much as you can. Always a benefit for sure.
And definitely Trey Smith. I said, well, how about Trey Smith?
Oh, him too. Yeah, Super Bowl ring. You ever flash that ring around? Let a recruit, put it in his little hands and look at the precious, like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. You're looking good, man.
Yeah, and I saw Kennedy Chandler was at the Virginia game last week, so kind of a little basketball plug there too.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Get all the players back we can that have made a dent.
I love Coach wasn't even looking at the screen, had no clue what was going on.
Me.
This is Coach Jay spending Coach Jay's money just to make him blush. You're my favorite.
There you go.
Coach, you're my favorite too. Don't tell my wife I said it.
Love me some Coach Jay. I'll keep it down. I'll keep it on the down low. So no one has
we got another $2 from Andrew Garland. Appreciate that. Kentucky up 3 in the third quarter on Eastern Kentucky.
No, that one makes me laugh.
Yeah, I haven't watched a single play of Kentucky, but they were talking about the transfer, but I don't know how much of a impact he's made yet.
They've had a couple of good plays on Kentucky, but they're not impressing me whatsoever. I think I'm growing more and more confident in our road games at Kentucky.
I'm thinking about going up to that game.
I'm over here near Louisville, so I'm pretty close. I'm gonna see if I can't catch me some tickets.
Yeah.
Here's an update from somebody on VolQuest says they haven't announced anything in the stadium the past 10 minutes, just playing some killer 80s tunes. So I think I'm with BBD. I think it's still got to be 517 as of right now.
Probably.
Sorry, X, I cut you off. Go ahead, buddy.
Hopefully.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, I said, sadly, I'm sitting here watching this Clemson game. I wanted Clemson to get another L, but that's not going to happen. So
Yeah, it was 21-17 late in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kent State's only 1 point behind Arkansas as well. So I mean,
yeah, that was a 38 point number too.
I know.
What's Ole Miss at? Is it like 17-10 at halftime? Is that right?
Still.
Okay,
yeah, 17-10 at half.
There's a lot of ball to
game's
go in
up
that game. We'll see how it goes.
45-17.
Yeah.
Somebody asked this in the
was
chat.
almost
Somebody asked this in the chat earlier, and we didn't talk about it. What do you guys think tonight, Texas, Alabama?
Oh, Texas.
Hook 'em horns.
Texas.
Hook 'em horns.
I didn't ask who we're pulling for. I asked. There you go. Thank you, Rocky Top Rules, for bringing some education to the board.
Either way, hook 'em
Everybody
horns.
immediately is like, hook 'em horns.
Either way, Boogie, hook 'em horns. Like, no, but
honestly,
go ahead.
Oh man, you offended Trucker Dougie, X. What did you say to him?
I was gonna let him talk.
Dude, I was taking my dogs out earlier today, and I don't know if my neighbor's doing some type of construction or something. I think he's got a buddy over there helping him. And I'm walking the dogs and look over and see an Alabama tag, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I see him, I'm going to say something. something.
That's when I'd raise the Tennessee war flag above the house. Make sure he saw it.
I just want to walk over there and be like, do you have any idea what I do every single day in my basement? I'm going to need you to move.
No, but
3 blocks.
But going
3
back
blocks
to
south.
Alabama, no, like I said, man, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a close game. I mean, I don't want to say Alabama's probably going to take it, but you got to think realistically. Texas is playing at Tuscaloosa, so it's going to be a tough environment. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate both of them.
I just think A&M's going to take it touchdown or less. It'll be under 7.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Well, the Bama game, for me, there's just a lot of unknowns in that damn game. So
yeah,
I guess we're gonna find out a little something, right? So
yeah,
I stayed away from it on betting for sure. I stayed away from that one.
Yeah, Bama thinks they've got their quarterback struggle settled. I don't see it. He did not show me that he is a quarterback to take over for that team.
It's MTSU, yeah.
Yeah, they got to play actual defense for me.
Yeah, I think, Jay, you talked about it Friday morning. You want to see him actually have to throw the football versus just being able to run around and play backyard football.
Yeah. Right.
We got a super chat. I needed X to read this one for me. X, can you read this one?
break champions of life.
Right.
Thank you, Jay Long, for the super chat. I thought it was only fitting that Xavier read that one. Appreciate the $5 super chat.
70-0 last week. Bless his little heart.
Oh man, the picture of him and the Alabama player wearing the number 73 was. You couldn't write a better meme to go on the internet than that picture. Like, who found that? Who remembered that picture was beside number 73 and brought that to the internet?
It was brilliant. Whoever did it, kudos.
I loved it. The thing is about, before the season started, you heard Saban sitting there saying, we're going to go back to the pound 'em game on the ground. And I think that's why, because he saw he didn't have the quarterback to step up where he needed to be. And he was covering his ass. That's my opinion.
Yeah, so was he seeing Milroe get torn up by his defense day by day on the practice
I believe
field?
so.
Maybe,
I
Bob.
believe so.
Maybe.
And you're also moving away from Bryce that you've had, last couple of years or whatever, being able to kind of be a magician back there. So I don't think Saban loves like a super pass heavy offense to begin with. So the minute he could scale it back down and do what they used to do, I think he was all for it.
That's a copy and paste directly from Kaner, because you can tell I don't speak like that. Teams will take the field at 5:17. 13-minute clock will start, and play will begin at 5:30. As long as we don't get another lightning strike. Michael Davis for a $5 super chat. Appreciate that, brother. Got my TV on the stream of the game on ESPN Plus, just playing the same commercial over and over and over. Looks like somebody posted that must be at the game that the coaches just came out of the tunnel. So we must be getting ready to get back out on the field and get warmed up, get ready to go. So hopefully there's not another lightning strike.
Malangoa just had a bad holding call that got a touchdown called back for Miami.
Oh, I've not even thought to watch him. I've got.
I just thought I'd bring that up.
What number is he?
I will say he. I thought it was 56.
Oh, 61.
61. Okay, yeah, he's on the right side. But I watched him last week, and I thought Miami looked pretty good last week. He's looked the part for the most part as a freshman. He's looked tough and physical, and every bit of the 5-star recruit he was.
$5 million.
Unfortunately,
there you go.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
When's the last time you guys been to the home game? What game?
The last game I went to was 2016. Florida game was the last home game I was at.
Oh wow, that was
so a good day. A good day to be there for
Mine
sure.
might have been the Florida game that I went to with Dauber when they ended the streak. Because we started live streaming.
That's the game. That's the same game. 2016.
Because I think we started live streaming. I can't remember when we started live streaming, and that's when I basically said I can't go to games anymore. So
yeah,
I don't even.
Mine was
great
last year.
Yeah, it was a great game though. Because go ahead, X. Yeah.
I was about to say my last game was the Missouri game last season.
Oh, there you go. That's a cool one. Yeah. No, that comeback here was a great game to be at because I was kind of like right up on the field level, right behind where the little patch of Florida like family people are and stuff, and I had the loudest, obnoxious Gator fans right behind me, even though I was in the section behind me the first half. So it was just great to watch them get quieter and quieter and quieter. Mm-hmm. And then they left like midway through the fourth quarter and got booed out by the whole section. So it was awesome. It was a great moment.
I made a couple of super chats real quick. Hold on just a second. Parker Townsend, member for 1 month. Appreciate that. Says team is coming back out. So they're going to get warmed up. Hopefully 5:30 kickoff. Crystal for 5.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So 2 people just walked in the bar demanding tennis be put on instead of football. Y'all, I think there's about to be a riot. LMAO. I think Sunshine Ball looks like he could throw down. And if I know anything about Sunshine Ball, and I do know one thing, he's probably been drinking bourbon since about 6 o'clock this morning. So I'd say he's 3 sheets to the wind and ready to go take care of business and fight for the honor of football.
Don't volunteer fans always carry a tennis ball that they can bean those people with at all times? Yeah. There you go.
And that or a mustard bottle.
There you go. You got one of the two. Make do.
You were talking about the Florida game in 2016. Yeah. Me and my brother got Friday night tickets from one of my friends down here in West Tennessee. We get up there, 10 o'clock in the morning that Saturday morning, and we go to the game day thing, and then later on, at the game, we're at the very top. We're at beside the Florida fans that sit up top. And, they're going crazy the whole first half. And, we were all wasted. But the guys beside us, man, we were just, talking so much crap the whole second half. When Jennings caught that
the big catch on the sideline.
Yeah, the catch on the sideline.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the lid came off the place. Yeah.
Oh, the lid it was crazy, and I went berserk.
I was at a buddy's wedding up in Philadelphia, of all places, but all of us friends were from East Tennessee, so we were like watching the game and like, oh man, this first half, it's usual story, right? We put the phones away for the ceremony, and then right after the short ceremony, we turned it back on, and we got to see that catch live, and it just made it for an awesome night and a hell of a wedding memory.
That's awesome, man.
And you guys also know who the head coach was of that team at the time?
But
Xavier's got
Yeah, of course.
All right, game
Awesome, Eric.
game update. 36-20 Wake Forest over Vandy.
Yep.
36-20 was the final.
They hung in there for a while.
Another $2 from
Yeah.
Parker Townsend. Appreciate that, brother. Several sources say chance for Chris Cole. I hope he falls in love with Rocky Top today.
That's cool.
That would be a big
there
one.
you go.
Don't forget, we typically do our fan call-in shows on Sunday night at 7 o'clock. We are going to be covering Chris Cole's commitment live. So me and Coach will go live at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. We will take you up to the decision of Chris Cole. After the commitment, we're going to open up to a regular fan call-in show on the same stream. We'll just kill two birds with one stone, and we'll keep riding all night long as you guys want to hang out and talk Tennessee football. Also, don't forget, we got 518 people watching this stream right now. This is just a regular tailgate show. We do it every week, an hour before kickoff. We're going to take you all the way up to that kick, but don't forget to be right back here immediately following the game for the post-game show. It'll be myself, Coach Jay, the X Factor, and Dauber will be in the house as well for the post-game show. I'm still checking it, looking like a 5:30 kick. So if so, we'll probably wrap this thing up here in a couple of minutes.
There you go.
Got a question.
Yeah.
I got one question for everybody in here and even for those in chat. How many people tune in to watch a Tennessee football game and actually think about and miss that voice?
John Ward.
Or John Ward.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure that I have kind of that same affinity, like affection for him, because I probably heard less games called than you guys living out of state, growing up before modern streaming and TV is what it is today. But, there's certain announcers out there. I know the Tigers had one. I know Chick Hearn for the Lakers. There's just certain announcers that have that beautiful radio, like sports calling voice and are right on top of everything. And everything I've heard called by Mr. Ward was just brilliant, man. Brilliant.
Yeah. His voice embodied Tennessee football.
Yeah.
And I just want to bring that up. I mean, we're missing him. And I mean, can you imagine if he'd have been able to call the Alabama game last year?
Ooh.
No.
That'd have been nice. That'd have been great to have.
That would have been glorious.
My number one probably Tennessee memory of all time. I was probably about 8 or 9 years old. I forget what year, maybe 89, 90, 91, 92, something like that. I was hiking in the Smokies, coming down from the Smokies in the Boy Scouts, about to head home, and I had my little AM radio and heard the call where Tennessee blocked the punt or blocked the kick against Notre Dame. And I'll never forget that. That's probably my number one Tennessee memory of all time. Was him calling that.
Yeah, good stuff, man. That's awesome.
The good old days.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, those old timer announcers, they don't grow on trees, man. They really don't. They're one of a kind, and I'd have to really dive into it to know how many there are even left. So when you get someone like that, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, I got to think about that earlier this off season. So I went on YouTube and started searching for some John Ward videos, and there are some out there that just actually goes through his entire history and some of the things that people have said about him. And then I saw the tribute that UT did for him. He wasn't supposed to have a funeral or any kind of thing, but they did it anyway.
Yeah.
So, but they're good. They're good watches if anybody wants to go out and look at them.
Yeah, I would go listen to some of his random calls. That's where I got the intro that I made, where I took his voice. I forget what game it was where he was them running through the tee. It's football time in Tennessee, and I put it over modern players lining up in the tunnel and running out. I need to start using that. It's a little bit longer, so I don't use it as much as the kneeling being formed. But every time I use it, man, people go nuts for it. Jeff Puckett for 5, thank you for the super chat, says this is to X to help him get therapy to move on from Butch. I mean, it's his favorite coach of all time.
Nah.
He loves himself some Butch Jones.
Nah, I'm over that.
He's got a tattoo on his arm that says 63 effort.
No, I don't have that. I definitely don't
brick
have
by brick.
that. No.
Remember that one, the 63 effort one is one that I'll never forget because he's like every play averages about 6 seconds, and in that 6 seconds you're gonna have 3 opportunities to make a play. You got to start, and then in the middle of the play, and then the finish. 63 effort. It's like, oh my gosh, Butch, where like what planet is Butch Jones from? Like, I mean, goodness gracious, where is it? I wanted to play the clip again, but I couldn't find it because I got lost here. There it is.
And you have to not lose the game before you can ever win the game.
What in the world?
I don't know.
His hair's going as bad as good as his career is, man. Bless his heart.
And his face is just blood red.
Blood red. Yeah.
Can you imagine the stress, though? I mean, I don't envy any college football coach.
No.
Jesus.
No.
Especially
and now with recruiting and the portal, and it's a nightmare.
Well, he needs to go back to coaching high school because apparently that's what Pruitt's doing in Alabama.
Yeah.
So
you guys think Florida covers the 45 points against McNeese today?
No.
Nope. You guys are saying no?
Jeez.
All right.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Let the hate flow through your hearts.
I hope McNeese has a super strong defensive line and just.
Oh, that'd be great, right?
It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah. No idea.
Yeah, some of those little schools I follow, but I think 45.5. I think something like that.
Yeah, they're not going to cover that.
Yeah, I think I saw that
don't
earlier.
even have a betting line.
Yeah,
you would think they. Yeah, I haven't seen one. I haven't seen.
There's not one. There's not one.
Okay. Yeah, you would normally, you can bet on 2 cockroaches scurrying across the ground in Vegas. You would think they'd set one, but I guess not, right? So
hopefully Florida has a game kind of like Kentucky's having against Eastern Kentucky.
That would be nice, right, to watch them struggle because they got every reason to come out and want to play sharp, building into us. They've got every reason, so you would think they would, but
if the same team effort that came out last week against Utah, then it's going to be, it's just flat. They look
like they didn't
against
care.
Utah.
They looked like
They
they didn't
did.
give a crap.
Even Billy Napier and the coach, and I meant to bring this up to you, like Billy Napier just didn't have like that fire in him. Like he just kind of just walked up and down the sidelines. It's just, all right, guys, we're gonna run this play next.
Didn't one of their top linebackers announce he was transferring yesterday?
Safety.
Yes.
Safety.
Yeah, safety.
Okay, safety. Yeah, and I kind of talked about it. I'd like to be a fly in that locker room because however many games they'd lost, that's tough, man. That's tough on a team. Belief is everything in football, and you'd be crazy to think they're not doubting themselves. Yeah, it looks like they're on the field and looks like the sun's out, boys.
We're ready to go.
Sun's
Dan
out,
Yoder
guns
drops
out.
a $2 super chat. Appreciate that. Dan says brick by brick, tier by tier. The game's on. We're out the door. We'll be back immediately following the game. 600 people watching live. You guys come right back here and hang out immediately following the game. This makes me question if we should do a freaking watch party eventually. We got 600 people watching right now. It's like the numbers just keep going up. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it sometime this year.
I think
it's football time in Tennessee.
Fearing an easy game though, because
yes,
no one wants to watch us like throwing crap at the wall and
I don't know. Those are the ones that go
screaming
viral.
At little children walking by the house. And, you know what I mean? Like that's not that's not a family.
We're out the door. We'll be back immediately following the game. Come hang out. The second the game ends, we'll go live. For Coach Jay, for the X Factor, for Bracket Top Rules, Bob King, Dustin Tellers. My name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go big.
Go big orange.
That we call home.